Hello friends, today's objection is no money objection using Parkinson's law, the psychology of Parkinson's law. So as I have earlier been saying that we need to have a basically third party reference to help the prospect understand the psychology of money. Generally if you bring in third party reference, it becomes very easy, and this third party will always help you to remove the deadlock between what you are talking and what the client is talking. Both of you are taking a position, and that is not, there will be a deadlock. To remove this deadlock, you have to move out of the conversation into something different, into a very different sphere, at a very different level of vibration, and then try to make the customer understand, because within that environment of discussion, this objection, no objection in fact can be actually handled very well. Therefore, today we are going to talk about the Parkinson's law, and it's a no money objection. So what happens normally is that when people say I don't have money, then I tell them, sir, do you know about the Parkinson's law of money? Mr. Client, do you know about the Parkinson's law of money? Many people may say yes, many people may say no. It's fine. So say, sir, I would like to tell you this Parkinson's law of money. It's a psychology, about the psychology of money. He says that expenses will rise to meet income. Okay, so what Parkinson's law states that expenses will rise to meet the income. Now this is very, very important and interesting, because what happens is, what he says, whatever money is available to you spare, or whatever whatever money is available to you free, it will basically, the expenses will actually match it, and it will be, it will all be spent. And therefore it is very important. Why do people not have money for their goals, for their future, for investment, for saving? Is because they follow the Parkinson's law of money. The Parkinson's law of money is saving equal to income minus expense. What is the formula? The formula is saving equal to income minus expense. Now, so far as your formula in your head, this is what most clients have, that they say, I will save, when I complete my expenses. So first let me complete my expenses and then I will save. So what is the formula they are using? Their formula is saving equal to income minus expenses. Now what Parkinson says is that so far as you have this formula in your mind, you will never be able to have money for saving. It will never happen, because according to Parkinson's law, the expenses will rise to meet the income available. Now to explain this to the client, what I say is, suppose specifically if his spouse is there in the meeting, then I directly ask the spouse. Otherwise I address the gentleman, and if the wife is there, I will ask her, madam, if sir gives you 5,000 rupees to go and do shopping, how much would you spend? And she said, of course 5,000. Then I tell her, suppose if sir gives you 10,000 rupees to go for shopping and then spend, how much will you spend? And she said, yes, I will spend 10,000. Then I ask her, sir, if sir gives you, madam, if sir gives you 20,000 rupees, how much will you spend? And she says, I will spend 20,000 rupees. So here if you look at this, you will see that the formula of Parkinson's law is correctly working, because expenses is rising to meet the income, and it's very, very clear. Another example very important of this Parkinson's law is, specifically if your client is a salaried employed person, then you can see that how this Parkinson's law works. So suppose if somebody is having an income of 1 lakh, obviously he will be having some 8,000 to approximately 12,000 deduction by way of provident fund, and depends on how much voluntary provident fund he has opted for. But suppose, let's take an example, his 12,000 rupees is getting cut from his PF. Now what happens here is something very interesting happens, that the person is actually getting 1 lakh rupees as salary, but the company just deducts 12,000 from his salary. So what he gets is just 88,000. And what happens when he gets that 88,000, his expenses has to match the income, which means his expenses will be equal to 88,000, and that is the reason why he will spend all the money. But what happens here is that 12,000, because it was deducted from his salary, he did not receive it in his hand, and therefore that money was not available for him for the expenses, and therefore it got saved. Now therefore the very important principle is, sir, if you want to have money for saving and for investment, you have to change the formula. And you know, sir, what is the formula? The new formula will be expenses equal to income minus saving. Please understand this, sir. Expenses equal to income minus saving, which means what you need to do is, the minute you get income, the first thing you need to do is take out the saving and put it out there, put it aside, take it aside, and then whatever is remaining becomes your expense. And based on Parkinson's law, your expense will then meet to that level, and of course it will be a lower level, and obviously your expense will then match and it will come to that particular level. You will have money for all your goals. Therefore, sir, there are very important responsibilities in your life. There are a lot of goals that you have to achieve in your life. Those responsibilities have to be converted into goals. Those goals have to be funded, and if you have to have money, you need to change the formula. Expenses equal to income minus saving. So sir, according to Parkinson's law, you will have money only when you change your formula from saving equal to income minus expense to expenses equal to income minus saving. And sir, I am giving you this form. Please sign on this dotted line. The minute you sign on this dotted line, you are going to put aside money into saving, and therefore you will be embracing the formula expenses equal to income minus saving. Otherwise you will not have the money. But once you sign here, automatically your expenses will be taken care of, and it will help you build a good kind of a saving for your family. Thank you very much.